Good day everyone, my name is Charles J. A. Saranya and today I will be continuing the report about the RAID levels. So, Nested RAID. Nested RAID is also known as RAID levels that combines multiple RAID configuration. This offers a balance between performance and redundancy by layering or nesting different RAID levels. So, basically, kaning nested RAID is just a combination of different levels in order to have better performance of the process. So, mga example ani is kintahay RAID 5 plus 1, RAID 2 plus 3, and so on. But the most common type of nested RAID is the RAID 10, also known as RAID 1 plus 0 and or RAID 0 plus 1. Now let's talk about the configuration of RAID 10. RAID 10 combines the features of RAID 1, the mirroring type of RAID, and RAID 0, the striping type of RAID. Mirroring, as per discussed by the previous reporter, we can describe it as cloning. Mura siya cloning. Kay cloning is like, for example, na kay usa ka memory card, karaan nga memory card, nya nagpalit kag laing memory card tapos ang katong sud sa karaang memory card imong gi-copy sa bag-o nga memory card. So bali ang duha ka memory card is pareha nagsulod, mao na siya cloning. So kumbaga katong duha ka memory card pareha to sila identity, pareha to sila tanan. Striping, on the other hand, in the context of RAID, refers to the practice of dividing data into small chunks and distributing those chunks across multiple storage drives instead of storing all the data on a single drive. So, striping, mura na siya na kay usa ka tibuok nga data. Then kadtong tibuok nga data imo to siyang gi-separate into smaller chunks and then distributed it to the different storage drives. This is because kung ninganaon mo gud nato siya kung ano siyang i-separate, ginagmayan nato ang tibuok nga data, dali ra gud siya i-process sa processor sa system. So, data is mirrored across pairs of disks, and these pairs are then striped for increased performance. So, mao tong giingon nga ang mirroring is ang data is gi-mirrored across kasagaran pair of disks, and pagkahuman atog mirroring, gi-stripe po ni siya para dali siya basahon sa processor. So, mo ni ang forma sa nested RAID. So, from here, data from host. Sa left side, na ang RAID 1 plus 0 and sa right side na ang 0 plus 1. So, sa RAID 1 plus 0, giuna ang striping o sa gi-mirroring. While sa RAID 0 plus 1, giuna ang mirroring o sa striping. So, dire, kaning RAID 1 plus 0, ang advantage man god kay nagamit man taog kanang gi-combine man nato ang RAID 1 plus 0 nya na siya mirroring kani. For example, kani diri nga side kani, kung nagani mag-error ani or naaman gani makorrupt or maguba ni siya, dili entirely mawala ang data kay naka-mirror man siya sa lain nga storage. So naa pa dire, napakay murag backup dire nga data sa naguba nga data dire. So pareha ra na sila dire sa pikas pod. Kung maguba ni diring tibuok kay gi-mirror man siya daan o sa siya gi-stripe, di gihapon entirely mawala ang data kay naka mirror man siya dire sa pikas stripe. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of nested RAID. So first advantage niya is high performance. Nested RAID offers the performance benefits of RAID 0, which is the striping across multiple arrays. So kay nigamit man ta og striping method, it can affect to high performance. Kay dali ra man to siya basahon kay na stripe naman siya into smaller data. Next is fault tolerance. So sa fault tolerance, it nested RAID can tolerate the failure of single disk in each array without data loss. Kay nag-mirror man ta, right? So mo tong giingon ganiha kung maguba ang usa ka disk, napakay backup data sa lain nga disk. Mo'y advantage niya. Now let's proceed sa disadvantages. First, reduce usable capacity. Of course, kay balik kadtong example na ganiha nga disk, di ba pareha man sila sulod. For example, katong usa ka disk is 4 gig to, then ang usa ka disk pod is 4 gig. So instead nga 8 gig imo magamit, no, 4 gig ra yung magamit kay pareha ra man sila sulod. So gamay ra, it can reduce usable capacity. Second is increased cost. So nagdoble man imuhang RAID nga gigamit nga level, of course mo taas yun na iyahang cost. Now let us proceed to RAID 3. RAID 3 is a RAID level that employs byte level striping and dedicates one drive for parity. So when we say byte level striping, meaning the data is divided into individual bytes, and each byte is written to a separate data disk in the array. So parity, na-discuss na po ni earlier, unsa ning parity. So parity is a form of error checking that allows the recovery of data in case of the data disk fails. Mura ni siya recovery nga program, no, if ever na among gani mo fail nga disk. So this RAID type of RAID is one of the early RAID configuration, and it is less commonly used in a modern storage environment due to its certain limitations. So key characteristics of RAID 3. So natay 5 major characteristics sa RAID 3. First is striping. As I have said earlier, RAID 3 uses a byte level striping, meaning that the data is divided into individual bytes and each byte is written to a separate disk in the array. So kung ang striping ra is kadtong ang tibuok nga data is divided into separate or smaller chunks, ang kaning byte level striping is ang katong smaller chunk nga gikan sa tibuok nga data gi-divide pa dito siya into smaller bytes, no. So striping enhances the data transfer rates, especially for large sequential operations, as multiple disks can work in parallel. Second characteristics is the parity. So ako na pinag-iingan ganiha, a parity is a form of error checking that allows recovery of data in case of one data disk fails. So kaning parity sa RAID 3 is like program ni siya nga mo-detect og errors to so that it can be reconstructed immediately. Ang mga data, it can be recovered immediately. Third is data distribution. Data is distributed across all data disks, and each parity block is stored on a dedicated parity disk. So later on, akong ipakita ninyo unsa ning ni dapit ang dedicated parity disk. The distribution helps in achieving a balance between read and write operation. Kay kung na siya proper distribution man god, dali ra siya i-read niya, dali ra siya i-write sa operation. Fourth is fault tolerance. So RAID 3 can tolerate the failure of a single disk without losing a data. If one data disk fails, the missing data can be reconstructed using the parity information stored on the dedicated parity disk. So mo ni nakalindot sa parity, ang parity kay automatically maka-reconstruct siya dayon sa information nga ni fails sa usa ka disk. Last is performance. So RAID 3 is generally suitable for application with a high volume of sequential data access, such as streaming or video editing, due to its efficient read and write performance. So, mo ni siya ang forma sa RAID 3. So, dire, gikan dire, data from host, nya na RAID controller. So, mo ni data disk, ang mga nagkalain-lain nga disk. So, kani, mo ni ang giingon nga dedicated priority disk. So, naglahi ni siya dire, kay in case dire, magkinaunsa sila dire, magkinaunsa sila dire tanan, kaning priority disk mao ni mo recover tanan og magkinaon sa namang gani intahay kani diri nga is maguba ni ang kaning priority disk is mo take action dayon ni siya para ma-reconstruct ang mga data nga naa diri. Now let us proceed with the advantages and limitations of RAID 3. First advantage niya is high data transfer rates. So RAID 3 is efficient for large sequential data transfers due to its byte level striping. So tungod sa iyahang byte level striping manggod katong ginagmay pa jud ang smaller chunks compared to regular striping, mas dali mo gud siyang i-process sa system. So mao maka-result siya into high data transfer rates. So second advantage niya is data protection. Tungod pod sa parity disk niya na siya dedicated parity disk, it can provide fault tolerance by allowing the recovery of data in case of a single drive failure. Now, the limitations of RAID 3. So, first limitation niya is write performance. So, RAID 3 can experience reduced write performance, particularly in random write scenarios due to the need to update the parity disk with each write operation. So, tungod ani, kaning mga limitations sa RAID 3 maong dili siya kaayo sikat or popular sa modern storage is tungod ani nga mga limitations. So, pareha aning kaning one, need magod siya nimong i-update every time nga mag-write ka og operation. Second limitation niya is single point of failure. So dedicated parity disk becomes a single point of failure. If the parity disk fails, of course, the entire RAID array become non-functional. Diba? Kaya ang parity disk man ma-auto mo check tanan sa data. So, if kung maguba tong parity disk, wala na tanan. Third is desynchronization. Desynchronization can be a challenge as all disks must rotate in sync for optimal performance. So kani pod usa po ni siya ka limitation kay needed magud siya i-synchronize all the disks for optimal performance. Last limitation is less commonly used. Mao na ni siya due to its limitations nga kadtong tulo and the availability of more advanced RAID configurations, RAID 3 is less commonly implemented in modern storage setups. So next is RAID 5. RAID 5 is a popular RAID level that combines block level striping with distributed parity for data protection and fault tolerance. So it is widely used in various storage applications due to its balance between performance and redundancy. So block level striping. So ganiha kay sa RAID 4 naman tay byte level striping. So sa RAID 5 na pod tay ang gitawag na pod ani is block level striping. So meaning the data is divided into blocks and these blocks are distributed across multiple disks in the array. So here are the characteristics of RAID 5. So first is block level striping. As I have said earlier, RAID 5 uses this type of striping and this enhances the performance of this type of RAID by allowing multiple disks to work in parallel during read and write operation. Second is the distributed priority. So RAID 5 incorporates parity for fault tolerance. Now unlike RAID 4, the parity information is not stored on a dedicated disk but distributed across all disks in the array. We also have the data distribution, but unlike RAID 4, Data blocks and parity blocks are distributed across all data disks, providing a good balance between performance and redundancy. Now, the distribution of parity allows for the reconstructions of data in case of a drive failure. Another also is fault tolerance. Now, RAID 5 can tolerate the failure of single drive without losing the data. If one drive fails, the missing data can be reconstructed using the missing data blocks and parity information. Now, unlike the RAID 4, nga if maguba ang dedicated nga parity disk is maguba tanan ang storage. Now, RAID 5 enhances that by tolerating failure in a single drive without losing a data. Next is data recovery. Now, in the event of a drive failure, the missing data can be reconstructed by performing the exclusive OR operations on the remaining data and parity blocks. And lastly is performance. Now, RAID 5 offers a good read performance, especially in scenarios with large amount of sequential data access. The write performance can be slightly impacted due to the need to calculate and update parity informations during the write performance. But overall, this type of RAID is commonly used in the modern era of storage due to its characteristics. Now let us proceed to the advantages and limitations of RAID 5. First advantage of RAID 5 is fault tolerance. Now RAID 5 provides fault tolerance by allowing the system to continue its operation even after the failure of single drive. Now, bisan pa og na-failure ang RAID 5, na-failure nga single drive, it allows to continue the system functioning its purpose. Second is usable capacity. RAID 5 makes efficient use of this space, providing a good balance between usable capacity and redundancy. So, efficient mo gamit og space ang RAID 5 and to have a balance between the usable capacity and redundancy. Third is cost-effective. Compared to other RAID levels with higher redundancy, RAID 5 is often considered a cost-effective solution for providing fault tolerance. This type of RAID is more affordable than other types of RAID. So, the last advantage of the RAID 5 is the read performance. The RAID 5 is well suited for applications with large sequential read operations, making it suitable for scenarios such as file serving and web hosting. Now, the limitations of RAID 5. First is the write performance. The write performance, it is also mentioned in RAID 4 that it can be impacted especially in random write scenarios due to the need to calculate and update parity information. Second limitation niya is rebuild time. Now, rebuilding the array after a drive failure can take some time, and during this period, the array is vulnerable to additional drive failures. Now, during the rebuild time is na chance nga ang other disk nga okay ra is maapektuhan or maguba pug apil. Third limitation niya is risk during rebuild. Now, sa giingan nako before katong sa to nga rebuild time, if a second drive fails during the rebuild process, data loss can occur. So mawala gid imong data if during the rebuild time siya ma-fail. Fourth is capacity utilization. Now, the parity overhead reduces the overall usable capacity of RAID array. Next is RAID 6. RAID 6 is a RAID level that enhances the fault tolerance provided by RAID 5. by using dual parity. So sa RAID 5 nag-use lang ta atog isa ka or single parity. So sa RAID 6 duha na iyang gigamit. Like RAID 5, RAID 6 uses a block level striping, but it dedicates two drives for parity instead of one. Now, this additional parity information allows a RAID 6 to withstand the simultaneous failure up to two drives without losing data. Now, hawig-hawig ni silang duha, RAID 5 o RAID 6, but RAID 6 is far more better than RAID 5. So here are the key characteristics of RAID 6. As you can see, no, so medyo pare-pareha lang sila og characteristics sa previous na mga RAID. So first is block level striping. So it is similar to RAID 5, no? Nag-use ni siya og block level striping. This type of striping enhances the performance by allowing multiple disks to work in parallel during read and write operations. Second characteristic is the dual parity. Now this type of RAID introduces the dual parity, meaning that two separate parity blocks are calculated and stored across different drives in the array. Now, so unlike the RAID 5 na nag-use lang siya og single parity, so kani siya morning ang nag-introduce sa dual parity. Third is the data distribution. No? So data blocks along with dual parity blocks are distributed across all data disks. This distribution provides redundancy that and allows for reconstruction of data in case of drive failure. So the same ang gihapon siya no sa RAID 5 og characteristic. Ang nausab lang siya is dual na iyang parity blocks. Next is fault tolerance. So RAID 6 can tolerate the failure of up to two drives without losing data. So sa RAID 5 is up to one single drive ra to iyahang kayang i-tolerate. So sa RAID 6 up to two drives without losing the data na. So this level of fault tolerance provide increased reliability compared to the previous RAID levels. Next is the data recovery. So in the event of a drive failure, the missing data can be reconstructed using the data blocks and dual parity information. So it is much the same no sa RAID 5. Last is the performance. Also, RAID 6 offers a good read and write performance, especially in scenarios with large amount of sequential data access. Now let's talk about the advantages and limitations of RAID 6. First advantages niya is enhanced fault tolerance. So the dual parity feature significantly improves fault tolerance, allowing RAID 6 to withstand the failure of two drives simultaneously. So unlike sa RAID 5 manggod, ang RAID 5 is usa ra ka drive iyang kaya nga i-recover at a time. So sa RAID 6, kaya na niyang duha simultaneously. Second advantage niya is data protection. So same lang gihapon siya sa RAID 5, but RAID 6 provides a robust data protection and recovery capabilities, making it suitable for application where data integrity is critical. The third is performance. RAID 6 can offer good performance for both read and write operations, making it suitable for various types of applications. Now, the limitations of RAID 6 includes write performance overhead. So, similar lang gihapon sa RAID 5, RAID 6 may experience a slight performance overhead during write operations due to the need of calculations and update of dual parity blocks. Second limitation is the capacity utilization. So the dual parity mechanism reduces the overall usable capacity of the RAID array. And the last limitation is the complexity. Now, so RAID 6 adds complexities to storage setups, and managing arrays with dual parity requires careful monitoring. So, kaning RAID 6 manggod is medyo complex ni siya setup because of its dual parity nga need siyang i-careful nga monitoring. So, the impact of RAID on this performance. The impact of RAID or the redundant array of independent disks on this performance is a crucial aspect to consider when designing a storage solution. So different RAID levels and configuration can have varying effects on read and write speeds as well as the overall system performance. So of course, if some of you is considering to have a RAID sa mga business ninyo pohon, you must first assess og unsa ang gikinahanglan sa inyong business to have a RAID level nga mo fit sa inyong nga gipangita. Kay there are different features man god for every RAID level, and of course, the better the level, it has higher cost. Mao ug unsay needed sa imong business or company, mo sa lay focus and in the future if need nang mo upgrade, so ana naka time nga mo upgrade. Now, these are the factors affecting the RAID performance. First is the number of disks. So generally, a higher number of disks in RAID array can lead to better performance, especially for RAID operation because mas dako ang storage niya, mas smooth man pod ang operation. Second is this speed and technology. The speed and technology, for example, the HDD and SSD, if you are familiar with that, of individual disks in the RAID array are directly impact the overall performance. So nowadays, karon no, sa modern, mas paspas ang speed ang SSD kumpara sa HDD. Murag mo times 3 ang speed sa SSD compared sa HDD kay kaning HDD magod karaan ni siya nga type niya og makita mo HDD mura na siya dako nga square compared sa SSD nga gagmay na mura na siya gamay nga rectangle no unya mas ninjut jud siya gamiton kaysa sa HDD. So third is the RAID controller. The quality and capability of the RAID controller influence the efficiency of data distribution and parity calculations. No, so ang RAID controller pod is usa pod ni siya nga maka-affect sa RAID performance kay mao man ni siya ang maka magdaog calculation sa parity. So fourth is workload type. Different RAID configuration may perform better for specific workloads. For example, sa RAID 5 for sequential reads and RAID 10 for mixed workloads kadtong nested RAID. So, considerations for RAID performance optimization. First is workload analysis. Now, so ang giingon ganiha, understand the nature of the workload. For example, read extensive ba siya or write extensive to choose the appropriate RAID level. Second is balancing performance and redundancy. So select a RAID level that aligns with the desired trade-off between performance and fault tolerance based on the specific use case. Third is the RAID stripe size. Configuring an optimal stripe size can impact performance. No? So a large stripe size can enhance sequential read and write performance, while a smaller stripe size may improve random access performance. No, sa kato ganiha naman tay di ba naman tay stripping ra no, then naapod toy byte level striping to guys ah. Then naapod tay block level striping no. So mag-vary pod ang striping technique sa RAID. Fourth is the use of SSD. So, muna yung giingan ninyo. Yeah, in many cases, using SSDs in RAID configuration can significantly boost performance compared to the traditional HDDs. So fifth is regular monitoring and maintenance. So kani is dili dyan siya mawa. So regular monitor and health of RAID arrays, disk and RAID controllers, implementing proactive maintenance practices such as disk replacement and firmware updates can ensure optimal performance. Now by regularly monitoring and maintenance, you can ang tawagan niya na, you can monitor the health of the RAID arrays, disks, and RAID controllers. Now, here is the RAID comparison no, sa tanang RAID levels nga gimension ako ganina. So, makita ninyo dire ang RAID 0 to RAID 6 and the last one is the nested RAID. So, mo ano yung minimum disk na required. Then, sa kani is ang storage efficiency niya na nindire mga basta mo ano siya. Then ang iyang cost no, so ang RAID 1 which is high kaya siya, and also the nested RAID high pod siya og cost. Then daring apart is ang read performance, and this one is the write performance, then the write penalty and the protection. So kamo na lay basa niya guys, basta kay kuan taga RAID level niya, taga taas niya og grade no, from 0 to 6. Na jud siya improvement, although no, so pare-parehara siya every RAID, but there is improvement no, every RAID levels. Now the last one is the hot spares. So a hot spare in the context of RAID is an extra and used drive that is kept in storage array and can automatically replace a failed or failing drive in the RAID array. So the hot spare serves as a standby disk ready to take over and responsibilities of a failed disk without manual intervention. So sabotable naman siya no, nga ang hot spare is a spare. Mura siya og backup nga storage nga kung maguba ang usa ka storage na dayon kay ikapuli nga spare. So maro ta tanan guys. Thank you and God bless. Arigato.